Hello and welcome to the World Cup Minute. My name is Josh Landon. I'm here with Brandon Kelly. Brandon, how are you?
I'm good. Day 17, the last stage of the round of 16. Don't get them mixed up now, but it's true to the pattern I think we've seen this week. It's like one match is a blowout and the other match is much closer. So we get any kind of drama that you want, whether it's action-packed or very tense. The World Cup is delivering. We were talking before we hit record, Josh, that thus far we feel like it's been a pretty vintage World Cup, which
It's been awesome.
we really needed it given the prelude to Qatar. I mean, I was having dreams that people were going to die in this World Cup. And so far, it's been great football, very fun.
Die of
excitement.
Yeah. There may have been some deaths. There may have been a handful before the World Cup started,
yes.
with the
but we can't properly parse that on this podcast.
Yeah.
We do respect. But yeah, what'd you make of day 17, Josh? Did you enjoy? Of course you enjoyed. What did you enjoy the most?
I love that it was 17. 17 is my lucky number. Not that I really believe in luck, but I think it's fun to have a lucky number. Mine is 17. It's also the day of my birthday, so I picked a very lame one. What is your lucky number, Brennan? Do you have a lucky number?
Sure. So it's number 5, which is also the day of my birthday. So I feel like that's
so
like
weak.
young boys. We pick our favorite color is blue, and our favorite number is the day of our birthday. It's pretty basic.
That's right. 17 is also Nani's number, Brandon, famously.
You are a Nani head. You are a freak for Nani.
Nani, I'm fascinated by Nani. He's still playing too. I just Googled him a second ago to see if he was still playing, and he's in the. I think he's playing for Melbourne, so he's in the. Congrats to him. He's in the A League, Brandon, which I'm sort of intrigued by. I'm a little interested in the A League, but anyway, I don't want to go down the Nani route too much further.
Go Kevin De Bruyne, also number 17 at Man City.
That's true. But let's stick with Nani because Nani is Portuguese, and Portugal played today, and Portugal didn't quite score 17 goals, but they probably could have. If that match had gone to extra time somehow, if they had added 30 more minutes, that may have ended 17.
I'm sure right now Cristiano Ronaldo is somewhere telling his friends and family, had I started, we would have scored 17. But they were holding me back.
It's crazy. I mean, this is something we have been talking about. I've certainly thought it, and many probably have thought it as well, which is that this is an absolutely brilliant Portugal team filled with, I mean, it's like the Belgium team, but actually good, right?
Yeah,
it's like they're like world-class players playing for the best clubs in the world in the prime of their careers. Like what? The only thing that was holding them down was this late 30s player who insisted that everything be run through him.
Yeah.
And so you get rid of him. You bring in Ramos, who has been absolutely brilliant for Benfica, right? Absolutely tearing it up in the Champions League. Right. They pipped PSG for top spot in the Champions League, partially because of him and how brilliant he was. So they bring him in. He gets the first hat trick in the World Cup, and I can't remember, like 2 decades, excuse me, in the round of 16, of course, not just the World Cup, but in the round of 16. Incredible performance, and they were just fun. It was like sometimes these blowouts, like the Brazil blowout was, it was fun in the first 30 minutes while it happened, and then from there, the match was kind of over. You stick with it because it's a World Cup, and it's always sort of fascinating. But this match, you had this sort of slowly. I mean, it was basically over at halftime, but you had the drama of how many goals could this team score without Ronaldo on the pitch was so thrilling to me, and I guess it just speaks to some dark Schadenfreude part of me, exactly. But the joy that I felt just watching them score brilliant goal after brilliant goal so easily. It felt like they could have scored 10, honestly, so easily, and against a good Swiss team. This Swiss team is not weak. I mean, they're a strong team. I thought this match could be, a 2-0 or a 1-1 that went to extra time or something.
And I rate Sommer really highly. He's one of my favorite goalkeepers in recent memory, and I think I agree with you. The Swiss team certainly shouldn't be underrated, but my visual memory of watching this match is every scoring opportunity was just like a phalanx of Portuguese players breaking through the line of defense and basically alley-ooping it into the goal. They did look brilliant. And
like you said, and that was against a team that has Akanji, who's been brilliant for Man City this fall.
Right.
and a Summer who's been great for a long time. A solid midfield. So it wasn't like they just sliced through anybody. So I'm with you. I mean, I think Kanji's goal, I felt kind of bad for him because it's a tricky goal, right? He scores a goal. The round of 16, it's a big thing, and it was kind of really almost missed it, but falls into the left corner, the left pocket, 8-ball in the left pocket, but he doesn't quite know how to celebrate because they've gone from 4-0 to 4-1. Sure. Clearly the match is over. How much can you celebrate a goal when that happens?
I know exactly how he celebrates. His wife is right now commissioning an oil painting of that goal that he's going to receive on Christmas morning, and then he can really celebrate. Yes, he can't celebrate on world television, but amongst his friends and family in the privacy of his own home, he can let her rip. He can kiss the badge.
It was interesting seeing some of the commentary today, and I think anyone listening to this podcast is a big enough supporter of, or a big enough follower of global football / soccer to have a strong sense of Ronaldo. But it was interesting watching the sort of general reaction among people who don't maybe follow, even sportsmen who don't follow soccer that closely. And just Ronaldo is so famous and such a big name that when it was announced he wasn't starting today, and then it was, oh my gosh, are they resting him for the quarterfinals? And there was not an understanding of just how much he's fallen the last couple of years, right? He was, so he had his Real Madrid peak, goes to Juve, still pretty good, but starts to, skill starts to slip. Last year has an okay year. I mean, he still scores 17 goals from Man City. I don't want to totally diminish what he did, but then by the time this season rolls around, I mean, he also can't press, right? So you can't really win with him. And so he scored goals, but it was like Pyrrhic goals, right? They didn't really make any kind of difference. In fact, they really arguably hurt Man United. So finally, Man United just right before the World Cup it's a real good riddance. We don't want to see anymore. And by the way, we're so depressed now. We're just going to sell the club. It's everything went totally chaotic. And so Ronaldo is not as good as Ramos anymore. Like, that's just true. And so finally, this manager, and there was some drama about whether Ronaldo actually did insult him or if he was yelling at the South Korean player. Was it South Korea? I'm trying to remember who they played in their final match.
This is exactly what you would say if you got into a bust-up as a little kid. You're like, oh, I wasn't trying to hit him. It was an accident because I was trying to hit the other guy. And I see through your lies, Cristiano.
you see it all. So maybe was it it was the South Korea match, right? So anyway, he ticks off the manager, and the manager finally says, "Okay, I've had enough. I'm actually going to put in a better player for you." And just Bruno's creating assists. It's like everybody. The only thing I was a little surprised by was Cancelo did not start, and you and I have been waiting for the Cancelo moment. So was it Ronaldo? Was he the problem? Was it actually Cancelo? I don't know. I mean,
it's Cancelo.
That seems harder to believe.
Yeah.
Cancelo is
the new drama queen,
Man City.
Isn't he?
Yeah, it's a little harder to believe with him.
Yeah, I think with Cancelo, I wonder if Santos just looks at him and is like, this guy looks tired. We've had a tough campaign to get to the knockout rounds. He plays nonstop for Manchester City. He just doesn't have his legs anymore. So that would be my reading on that is Santos has another equipped left back or right back, and let's use some fresh legs and win this match.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. I mean, let's see who played. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it was Aguero. I can't remember right now if Cancelo plays on the left or the right. He plays on both sides for Man City, of course. But
I think he has played on the left for Portugal, and I can't wait for somebody to correct me on that. But I'm going to stick my neck out. I think that's
and right. So they bring in Guerrero, who's awesome, plays for Borussia Dortmund, and he scores a goal today. So clearly they have a wealth of attacking talent there. So this team is just loaded. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, they bring off Bernardo Silva and they bring on Ruben Neves. Like, it's just like Ruben Neves is maybe not. Ruben Neves could start for a lot of top 6 clubs. I mean, he would certainly get minutes. Even certainly at a place like. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. He would get minutes at a lot of top clubs. He's a really brilliant player, very good player, exactly. And so, it's just a fun team. And now I'm sort of in. If they keep not playing Ronaldo, I'm really in on this Portugal team. I'm kind of rooting for them.
We've lost every single Ronaldo fan out there.
We already did.
But if we can go all in, it would be insane for Portugal to win this World Cup and for Santos just to not let Ronaldo on the field. I don't know if that's even possible, but
yeah, he got 15 minutes today, so yeah, it's going to happen.
It's rough. He did even storm off the pitch or whatever. Let's stop talking about this. I read this in a more generous way, Josh.
Yeah.
One thing that I have loved about this World Cup is, and go listen to a World Cup Minute a week ago. Every player, we were checking what their age was. This has been a very age-appropriate World Cup, and we've been obsessed with how old are certain players and how young are certain players. And what the Ronaldo thing speaks to, for better or worse, is this has been a wonderful tournament to watch the changing of the guard. And, Mbappe is grabbing that golden ball right now. Well, that was a weird euphemistic way of saying that. But this tournament is starting to really belong to the youth. From Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka in England, and now Portugal, and all these many players who are not the old guard. And I love it. I think it's wonderful. So thanks for the memories, Ronaldo. It's time to move on, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's so rich. He has so many fans everywhere. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So Portugal moves on. They play Morocco on Saturday morning, and that is a really fun match. Now I mean, and we can talk more about the quarterfinals in a second. But speaking of Morocco, it was not a great match. I didn't love the kit clash. The Spain, the blue. It was not working for me.
Terrible colorway for Spain, and Spain. Many classic kits through the years. This is unbecoming of them.
Yeah, just a weird. We talked about this on yesterday's pod. And I sort of put in a little flyer for Morocco on that pod because I just felt like they were just playing really well as a team, and the Spain team just felt like they were maybe 4 years and a forward away. It still feels that way. They just kind of, if you're relying this much on, I mean, obviously he didn't start today, but if you're relying on Morata, even Ferran Torres, who's I really like, but he's not exactly leading the line yet, right? I mean, obviously he played on the right in today's match anyway, but it's sort of, it just felt like this squad was not quite ready to score enough goals, honestly, to win the World Cup.
Right. You talk about the vintage Spain of 2010. You talk about Germany, who won the World Cup after that. These are often teams that play in the same club, be it Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. This Spanish team, they're more far afield. They have players playing all across Europe, so the chemistry is not as bold. So my worry for the Spanish team is they will go the way of Belgium, where they will maybe waste. I mean, waste is strong because I think Spain, fine, they had a decent Euros, they had a decent World Cup. They will very, very, very much be disappointed to go out this early, but I think they have. My point is they have the potential, and they can hit their stride 4 years from now. Or they become a Belgium squad where it's just a waste and it's all disappointment.
I guess the nice thing about Spain is it's Belgium is a golden generation because they're just a fairly small country, but Spain it's pretty much like an endless supply of awesome talent.
Yeah, that's fair. Belgium that's a good point. It was generational for Belgium, where Spain they can just churn through an 8-year cycle and come up with the next. That's a fair point.
Yeah. They also just had like the greatest team ever, one generation ago. They're fine for now. It's like I feel like they're good. Anyway, so but we should talk about Morocco though. It was not This is the match. Unfortunately, this was like the worst possible time for me work-wise. This one, I had to catch up on it after I did the old YouTube catch up via key plays, which is very useful. This is like the 9th time I've shouted out YouTube TV on this on this podcast, completely for free. But to me, it's kind of the premier modern way to, if you can handle the 15-second or 10 to 15 second delay, which drives everybody nuts, and eventually they have to fix this with streaming, right? There's like the lag. But if you can, because I don't know, just like if cable can do it, surely they can figure this out eventually. But anyway, if you other than that, it's just a great way to catch up matches. You can flip from your phone to your TV and you can catch up on key plays, and just as a sports fan, it's very handy. So anyway, caught up that way. Was not an especially exciting match on either side. I think the total shots were incredibly low. I saw it earlier today, but it was it was basically like one of the least attacking performances on both sides, and then it went to pens, and I mean honestly, hilarity ensues. Right? It was just the Spain. It was crazy.
Japan yesterday and Spain today. Yeah,
crazy. They're just not. I mean, missing all. It's the rare. What was it? I guess it was a 3-0 pen score, right? Was that what it came out to in the end? I know that Morocco did miss one pen, but how do they score that? It's like,
oh yeah, and
ultimately
then
it's 3-0, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But the beauty is it ends with the Hakimi Panenka, and then he turns around and does
the penguin. I showed my 6-year-old because they're a huge. They love penguins, and so it was awesome. I love.
What is the significance of the penguin for Hakimi or Morocco? Do we know?
Genuinely no idea, but I
he's
do
just
like
a huge Morgan Freeman fan.
There's an NFL player named Jalen Waddle who does that when he scores, but his last name is Waddle, Waddle. I feel like if your last name is Waddle, you should be doing penguin celebrations when you score.
This is a question for the audience: is what is the most sort of like discordant goal celebration? Because I feel like you go through to the quarterfinals and what you do is this cheeky, and no disrespect to penguins or penguin celebrations, but I feel like in that moment I just probably want to do a primal scream.
Yeah, but that's what I liked. That's what I liked about it. What I liked about it was unique. I've never seen somebody score a match-winning goal with the stakes that high and just be like, like I'm awesome. Like
I'm having fun.
I knew I'd do that. Like I knew I was going to just.
It is baller.
I
will give him that. It is very baller. So good night, sweet Spain. We'll see you next time. I'm sure we'll see. Maybe we'll see Spain live in person here in the U.S. of A. I hope it.
Yeah.
I am part of the Danny Olmo fan club.
Speaking of U.S., did you see that the U.S. it looks like they're going to be part of the Copa America in 2024? It's like almost a done deal. So there's some talk about whether everyone will get released or not. But if they do it at the same time as the Euros, it should be okay. They should be able to release the U.S. players. So I think that's great. Great for us for 2026 to get some real minutes. I mean, we're going to get destroyed in that, but it's still be fun.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, it's not like it's going to be in U.S. soil. Like we're going to go to like Peru and like wax South America.
They're gonna. Yeah, the U.S. team's going to have to do a month of training at some high altitude to figure that one out.
It's going to be like Rocky IV. Like it's going to be like carrying tractors in the mountains or whatever.
So we've got a couple days off here, right, Josh? Should we look ahead at the quarterfinals? We've got some like. Mwah, 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 like yummy, tasty, delicious matchups. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah, disgusting what you did, whatever you just did there. But yeah, it was. I think they're all good. There's not a single one that I think is uninteresting. You have Croatia, Brazil. I think that Croatia is mega tough. I've said this many times already. I'm going to stick to my guns here. They're tough. They're tough. And so you got the tough Croatians.
I feel like we need to break out the who's the Michigan singer-songwriter? Like a rock. Who's that guy?
Oh, Bob Seger.
Yeah, we need to get the Bob Seger drop for
cool.
whenever we talk about Croatia.
We should. So, but you have to give the fire and ice in this one, right?
Yes.
And so I think that'll be really fun. I mean, Brazil should win, but Croatia should make it a match. And so I think if Brazil win by more than 2 goals, Brandon, I will I feel like I want to like throw my hat over the fence in
do
some
it.
way.
Yeah,
I will eat my hat. Okay,
great.
It's gonna be a hat made of food, but I'm still gonna eat it. Okay, I'm gonna
like a taco salad in that taco shell
I'm gonna
bowl.
make a taco salad hat. I'm gonna eat some kind of hat. Okay, if they win by more than 2 goals. So and then we have in the afternoon Netherlands, Argentina. Again, Europe's another Europe South American team where you would expect Argentina to win, but a strong defensive side in Netherlands, a great coach, obviously. They have not actually in America. They would be playing up this Van Gaal is dying of cancer narrative way more. This would be the only thing you'd hear about in the United States.
Van Gaal would have received upwards of 15 ESPN ESPY awards by this point.
Yeah, exactly. Be a much bigger talking point. But there's a little more European reserve, I guess. So, but Netherlands, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but I was very impressed with how they looked when they played the U.S. and Argentina has intermittently looked good. They looked better in the last couple of matches, maybe, and so it's their third match wasn't. Well, yeah. I mean, they have looked better. I mean, I'd say the last 2 they've been pretty good. So.
Yeah, I said this to our friend Dave when he popped on the pod to talk about their Australia match, where my read on Argentina is they seem to be like a virus in the World Cup, and they attack whatever body it is that they're fixed to. So whoever they play takes them 20 to 30 minutes to figure out how to kill the body, and then they find the most efficient way to do so. So it's sort of like you never know what to expect of Argentina against their opponent in this World Cup until it actually comes to pass.
Well, I think it's really going to be a fun match. I'm not going to get into the match prediction one with this one because I really think it's harder to it's a harder one to assess. I think ultimately Brazil does win in that first match, but I think we have fun watching it. Yeah. Morocco, Portugal. After Morocco won, I was like, man, they have a real path to the semifinals. But if we see that same Portugal team that we saw today, it's hard to see Morocco scoring enough goals to keep up with them.
Yeah, right. It's a U.S. dilemma here that we've talked about ad nauseum. Once you get to a certain level, you can have the sturdiest system in the world, but if you can't score goals, you are not going to win any titles. And Portugal has certainly proven that they can do the goal scoring, and that's Morocco's concern. Now, Spain, I guess they had a couple of matches this tournament where they were able to score goals, but I'm excited. But that you've set this up beautifully, Josh, for the most blockbuster of all the matches happening on Saturday, which is England France, and I don't know if us lighting the fireworks right now damns this match to it being a 0-0 draw, but I just can't see.
It's hard to see
that
it
happening. Yeah,
same here. I can't see it either. Certainly, what I can't see is France not scoring, and if France scores, then England's going to have to come to the table and try to do the same, right? So I think this is really. I sort of do feel like England has a more than a puncher's chance here. It's Mbappe kind of looms over this because he's just been so brilliant in this tournament. But this English team has played together a lot, right? Yeah. It's a very solid team. It's basically the same team that made the World Cup finals, and they've added Jude Bellingham, who's been terrific, and he and oh my goodness, what Declan Rice? I forgot his name for a moment there. Declan Rice. They're just terrific in the midfield, and it's really helping them to kind of boss these matches. Outside of that U.S. one, which is just a weird game. I still don't understand what happened there, but
this is my concern for England is I don't think their defense has really been tested, and even still we have seen the faults and the obvious public enemy in Harry Maguire. Yeah. I think that will be a concern for England fans, is they haven't been really tested by an attacking juggernaut like France, and can they really tighten up? And then does Southgate's, as he's shown his tendency in these situations is to just really shut up shop and try to play really tight, and maybe he goes 3 at the back, and Kyle Walker tucks into a 3 in the middle. I don't know. And does that stifle England's attacking output that we've been really awed by this tournament? So I think the France has the upper hand and that they can feel confident going into this match doing what they've been doing, and England are on the defensive, feeling like they have to adjust their tactics to France, which will put them in an unknown situation probably.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I saw there was a quote. It was before the Senegal match, so it's a different situation. But there's a Southgate had some quote like, "We are not afraid of penalties," or something like that. And I was like, well,
okay,
it's
right.
like
You should be.
if you have to, but it's also just like if you have to say it, right? If you're saying it out loud, it means it's on your mind. Like, let's not even get in that kind of defensive mode already. It's like we are ready to. It's just like Spain doing the like subbing on the pen takers in the extra time. It's just like OGS in that Man United Europa League final a couple years ago. Like, try to win when you can win, like on the pitch.
Don't take it to a lottery. Then that's just exactly. You've already done that, and your nation did not respond well.
No, exactly. I mean, we've seen it already. Like, it's like whoever's looser is probably going to. I don't know. I mean, I maybe Morocco felt like they had less to lose. Maybe they're just better at taking pens. I mean, who really knows what motivated that? Spain was exhausted from completing 16,000 passes in that game and having 2 shots or whatever.
I mean, Spain's problem was they didn't, like Hakimi, go to the World Wildlife Federation and adopt a penguin prior to the match. And Hakimi says to Morocco, "Let's do it for, I don't know, what's the penguin's name? Spencer? Do it for Spencer."
That's a good name. Yeah. I like that. Spencer. Do it for Spencer. Well, that's do it for Spencer should be the rallying cry from Morocco throughout the rest of the tournament. I'm really looking forward to the quarterfinals. So we're going to take Wednesday and Thursday off just because we've just
I need some water. I'm dying here.
Yeah, we need some water. Exactly. We'll come back on Friday to discuss Friday's matches and previous Saturdays. Looking forward to it though. It's been fun doing 17 consecutive days of these, Brendan. I don't know how we did it over that Thanksgiving weekend when we did one in like my wife's office, and it's just it was crazy. So, but thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back very soon on Friday evening. So enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.